be more precise. And now we are moving to Bologna, Italy, well, a city that you probably all know. You might not know about HSPI, the company which we're talking about now. We're gonna have, unfortunately, could not be live today with us, but they did record a video, and it's a very interesting presentation. This HSPI company is a consultancy company which is specialized in the IT process management. During this CMDBuild Day, Mr. Elia Gentilucci is a consultant which and then implemented CMDBuild at one of his customers. HSPI also is the company that has trained the whole Tecnoteca team about the ITIL best practices and how to actually implement all these ITIL elements. I would now like to start the video and let you enjoy it.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Elia Gentilucci from HSPI Management Consultants, and I'm going to present about the adoption of CMDBuild for the Italian company FER, Ferrovie dell'Emilia-Romagna. This is the agenda of the presentation. I will tell you a little bit about the company, we will see the reasons why I use CMDBuild, and we will go through some projects based on CMDBuild. FER is the company who manages railways in the Italian region of Emilia-Romagna. The railways network covers 364 kilometers and is used for both passenger and freight transportation. FER allows safe circulation in over the entire regional railways network and invests in order to enhance the railways and maintain the efficiency of the whole infrastructure. FER chose CMDBuild in order to be able to control the company's IT assets, both hardware and software, define a model with assets and their relations, be able to evaluate different scenarios in case of assets failure, migration or disposal, have the elements to be able to design architectural changes to all the items in the configuration model, to be able to define parameters, terms and metrics in order to monitor suppliers' contracts. So why use CMDBuild? CMDBuild is open source, is based on the best practices on the field, it is web-based, can be implemented gradually, it can be integrated with external sources and databases, it allows to implement an architectural model in complete autonomy. And these are all characteristics needed to the company to develop their own model and be able to control their assets. In 2014, CMDBuild was first used to set up the pilot project in order to manage the IT assets. Then, after the success of the first implementation, the scope was extended to mobile devices and subscriber identity modules. Then, in 2015, to the assets pertaining to the centralized traffic control and passenger information system. The pilot project was divided in 3 work packages with different activities. As you can see from the screen, the first work package is about setting up the requirements. The second is about the design, implementation and release, in which the core activity is the CMDBuild configuration, which means defining assets and their relationships, views and reports. The third, and the last, is about writing the documentation and training the users. Here you can see the configuration model of assets inside CMDBuild developed for the project. The architecture takes into account the assets and how they relate to each other, dividing them into layers based on the assets type. The business layer, which include external users, employees and organizational units, the application layer for applications and components, the technological layer, which contains all the hardware that supports the infrastructure. The screenshot of the navigation panel from CMDBuild reflects the architecture of the asset configuration. Using CMDBuild allowed FER to reach the desired outcome and be able to manage a set of information about the assets, information about the fleet, and the configuration model with the links between applications, logical components and servers, both virtual and physical, plus dedicated reports for network devices and internet connections. On the right side of the screen, you can see some numbers about the assets managed with CMDBuild. Due to the success of the pilot project, FER decided to extend the scope of their implementation of CMDBuild to other assets, such as mobile devices and SIMs, with the purpose of rationalize and monitor assets utilization, organize sets of forms for asset assignment, check suppliers' forms with registered assets inside CMDBuild, and monitor contracts. CMDBuild allowed FER to reach the desired outcomes by a precise control of mobile devices and SIMs through the management of their life cycle, from the internal request, the request to the supplier, the assignment to the staff, up to its disposal. They are now able to manage SIM's technical data and their use, and contractual data about different types of contract. At the bottom of the screen, you can see some numbers about the assets managed. FER is investing in an innovation project, creating a centralized traffic control system with the aim of centralizing traffic commands and control and creating a people information system that serves all train stops and stations. The complexity of the production process and the high number of assets employed suggested the use of CMDBuild in this environment, starting from 2015 in order to register and track every asset, manage assets life cycle, and lay the foundation for assets monitoring and maintenance. Here you can see assets and relationships for the CTCS and PIS solutions and how they are organized in the navigation panel inside CMDBuild. CMDBuild allowed FER to reach the desired outcomes by successfully tracking and register goods orders, answering the need of managing composite assets, tracking their status since the first use, and monitor how their use and their whereabouts. It's important to say that each asset is located in a different place with its own ecosystem, and it's really important to be able to monitor and assess the current situation of each asset. You can see some numbers about the assets managed on the right side of the screen. After that, CMDBuild allowed FER also to create reports of assets grouped by railway line, stop or station, and manufacturing purposes. To conclude, nowadays FER is taking into account some evolutions of the use of CMDBuild with the purpose of integrating the content management with Alfresco and extending the use of CMDBuild with the service desk function. Thank you all for your attention and enjoy CMDBuild Day 2016.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Elia, Mr. Elia Gentilucci, for your speech. It was extremely interesting. Thank you. Too bad, again, that you could not be here live today with us, but still, your testimonial is still very, very interesting. Now we're going to take...